basically a lot of businesses, when a lead comes in, it's all messed up. Like we could run the greatest ad in the world, but if your funnel isn't fixed, then you're not going to be able to convert them. So now we're like helping business owners make their funnel start to finish.
Okay.
So like, yes, we can run the advertisement. What happens after that? Where do they go? What kind of evidence do they see when they get there that makes them want to move to the next step, and so on and so forth?
Welcome to the Just the Decision podcast, where we speak to our guests about the decisions they made in life, the good, the bad, the regrets, the decisions they're currently making, and the decisions they're going to make for the future. Subscribe, like, comment on the video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And remember, we're available on all streaming platforms. Welcome to the Just the Decision podcast, where we speak to our guests about the decisions they made in life, the good, the bad, the regrets. But first, today we are sponsored by Morning Dew Breath Spray. So today I have Angel Garcia on the podcast, and pleasure to meet you, bro.
Again?
Yeah, again. We start the podcast with two questions.
Okay.
First question is, what's your favorite dish and from where?
What kind of, can you give me a category?
Like a meal. No, that's like when someone says where you want to go to eat, what's the first thing that pops in your head?
All right, this is going to be a really niche answer and probably free promotion for them.
Yeah.
But the Fish House in Cape May,
Okay.
they have this like dish called salmon a la plancha, which is just grilled salmon, grilled asparagus, and like a mashed potato puree.
Okay.
The best mashed potato puree I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
And they have like a sitting area like along the ocean. It's kind of like a bar without the bar type deal.
Okay.
It's amazing. I literally would go there every day of the week if I could.
Nice. Is it in season or like
Yep,
it's all the
right
time? Okay, nice.
In season, yeah.
Cool. And second question. Someone gives you a blank check. Whatever number you write on it, it's going to cash, and your checking's not your savings. What's one of the first things you would spend it on?
Another like probably uncommon answer, but charity.
Okay. Charity?
Yeah.
Is there like one in mind or?
Well, I do believe in the tithe, obviously. But I think if I had to pick like another charity to donate to, it'd probably be like something that has to do with like young men.
Okay.
Young men like without fathers, or like for single moms or something like that. Like I've always been super passionate about like single moms or like kids, young men that don't have like true leadership in their life. So that's definitely like what I'd write, like probably a good amount of the check to be honest. I think that's super important for like young men to have leadership and like mentors.
Nice. Is there like an organization you could think of now, or would you start yours from scratch?
Honestly, you just gave me a next step to go find out, because I've honestly never looked into it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of something where I figured like if it comes up, like I'll just like call someone and be like, hey, do you know a single mom, or do you know like a kid that needs help with gear or something like that?
Gotcha.
But like I guess it's probably good for me to like find an actual organization.
Yeah. It's always
so
good.
I could have it in mind.
Cool. All right, let's get into the episode. We usually start about childhood. What was little Angel like?
Bad. Bad. I don't know. I was just like, I guess like a really goofy kid. Like my parents, I had like really like long hair as like a baby. And then my dad gave me like the buzz cut. And from there it just like got wild. I was into like motorcycles, cars, obviously sports. And then I started fishing with my grandpa, and I was just everywhere doing everything at all times. And I wish now as an adult, I still had the level of like nonchalantness and like just not caring.
Yeah.
Cause I was genuinely just doing whatever, dressing up, doing literally whatever I wanted to do.
Nice.
But I'd say I was definitely always super passionate about
I'm gonna shut off the air.
everything that isn't school. I don't know. School just like never really interests me. I loved art. I love sports, cars, like any hobby that you could possibly think of, or like passion that isn't school. Was kind of just always where my mind was. And then video games was something I obviously played, and I just I found a way to like monetize it and do it like without my parents yelling at me.
Cool. Like, what was the first video game or I guess console and game that you remember playing?
The first console I ever played was actually one that I shouldn't have been playing on. It was the original Xbox that my dad had. And then I had that for a while, and I used to play Midnight Club.
Okay. What's that? Which game is that?
It's like basically like the old school version of like GTA, but like more cars focused, I guess. And then from there, my uncle gave me his PS2, And that's when I got into Black Ops and like Call of Duty.
Okay.
And then it just kept going from there. I just kept buying new ones until I finally got like a PC.
Nice. So in your younger age, playing video games, were you like ever outside, or games were games and you were inside type of kid?
Yeah, I think I was like more of like just like a degenerate kid, if anything. Because like I'd literally leave school, my mom would be like, do your homework, and I just didn't care what the answer was. I just wrote something.
Wow.
I'd go play outside until the streetlights came on or until it got dark, and then I'd come inside and play until I absolutely like couldn't and would get yelled at. So I was just maximizing life back then, honestly.
Gotcha. Like the grades were like going through, or like, because I got left back in the first grade. So
yeah,
like
they were going through. I was passing.
Okay.
But like I just didn't like care. Like my parents, my older sister's super smart.
Mm-hmm.
She has her master's degree and like probably gonna end up going for her doctorates and all that.
Nice.
And love her to death. But that wasn't me. So like they always expected us to have like honor roll or like super good grades. Where I was like, as long as I go to the next one, am I not fine? Like,
yeah,
is that not good enough? Like, so I was just trying to get through it honestly and just pass.
Cool. So that's elementary, middle school. Let's talk about high school. How was high school? Because I feel like high school is where a young man or woman finds identity.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a difficult thing to find when there's so many groups of people in one building.
Yeah. I'd say I didn't have my identity in high school yet.
Okay.
I didn't really figure it out until I was 20. And that's ironically when I met Jesus too. But high school me, it was just super, my identity would be placed in things or people. And it led me honestly down a pretty dark path. First it was like freshman year and sophomore year, I played 3 sports: football, hockey, and baseball.
Wow.
And then I got too many concussions, so I had to pick between football and hockey. And I picked hockey because that was like my favorite sport.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
Pennsauken.
Okay.
And then and I was still playing video games at this time. Like I had swapped over to Valorant. I was playing that at a pretty high level. In tier 2 and things like that. So literally the same crap as when I was a kid. I would go to school, sleep in school most days, and then just pass and then go to practice. The moment I got home from practice, I'd shower, get right on the game, practice with my team, play matches, tournaments, etc. until I got yelled at. And then I would go to bed at like 2, 3 a.m., do it all over again. And then like junior and senior year, I started taking gaming more serious because I started making more money with it. And I just realized like I wasn't going to play baseball in college, stopped caring about it. And then my likelihood of playing hockey in college kept getting slimmer and slimmer because I had an injury in high school. I got hit from behind on a breakaway and I went like neck first into the boards and it like messed my hips up completely. I just basically like springed into the boards, like my whole body. So I just focused on gaming a lot more. And then I got a call from West Virginia that they were like starting like their esports team. They were going to be the first Division I school in the country to throw a lot of money at it. And I decided to commit there. They gave me a full scholarship. And then I just focused on that for the rest of high school once I was like signed and like committed.
Wow. Backtrack a little bit. Where did hockey come into play?
So hockey was actually my mom's attempt to get me away from gaming.
Oh, wow.
Because we moved from Cherry Hill to Pennsauken when I was really young. And then basically I was just gaming and that's just all I wanted to do. Like I was playing with like realistically I was playing like with now these guys are in like the CDL like pro league and like they're playing pro COD and I was playing with them back then because I would just grind the game and I had nothing else to do.
Okay.
And when we moved I didn't have any friends or anything like that, so that's all I did even more. And hockey was something where it's just like, all right, well, baseball's only like one season of the year. We're like spring and summer. So hockey was like her attempt to get me friends, get me out of the house in the fall and winter, and just get me off the game. And ironically, I like fell in love with the game. Like I started playing at 8, and then by the time I was 10, I was like playing on like the travel team and things like that.
Wow.
And I just like went like hardcore into it. And that's like genuinely what I wanted to do. Like I 1000% thought that I could make it and play like Division I, or play in like juniors or something like that. And that's how I started playing hockey. But it was amazing. I got to play for the Ed Snyder Youth Hockey Foundation, which is funded by the Flyers. It's an organization that helps lower income families in the Philadelphia and South Jersey area play hockey for free. So our practices were free, our gear was free, like
Did
our
you go
games
to like
were
the
free.
Flyer skate zone or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they had Pennsauken is the only Flyer skate zone where they had this in Jersey.
Okay.
So I would go there, but like all of my games were in Philly, and they blessed me beyond belief, man. Like I got invited to Trump National to like go to the golf outing when they had like Steve Mason, Ben Simmons or Wayne Simmons. Sorry, I always get those two confused. Wayne Simmons, Steve Mason, like all of those guys. And I got like a jersey in my room still with like 20 autographs from the team.
Wow.
And then they invited us to the Flyers skate zone for like an all-star game a couple years in a row. I literally have sat in the Flyers locker room and like got ready for the game. I've played on their ice and practiced there with their coaches and everything like that. It was absurd. One of the best experiences of my life, but that's how like I got started playing because obviously my parents couldn't afford for me to play hockey.
Yeah.
But once my mom found that, she just like jumped on it and threw me in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you miss it at all or?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Do you still play? Or, I guess ice skate?
Yeah, I can still ice skate really well. It's like something that'll never go away, I don't think. Like the muscle memory is crazy.
Okay.
I try to at least play or like skate, I'd say like once every other month at the very bare minimum.
Okay.
But I do miss it a lot. I think it was like I said, one of the best times in my life. The brotherhood in hockey is a lot different. And I think the adversity I also faced in hockey was much, it attributes a lot to my character today. Okay. Because like I would hear from my family all the time, like, oh, what are you doing? Like you're Hispanic and you play hockey. Like, what do you want to be white or et cetera? All these things. And I was just like, man, like I'm just a kid. I'm playing hockey. There's like Wayne Simmons is in the league right now. That guy, like he's colored too. Like there's nothing wrong. It's just another sport. Yeah. But even with the players and the culture of it, it was tough. Like in high school, like I had the rink we played at had like a very, very expensive like travel team that played there. Okay. And these kids were 17 and, you know, I was pulling up and my parents didn't have new cars and they were pulling up in like $90,000, $100,000 Mercedes or BMWs, or the one kid like drove a Porsche at like 17, 18 years old. Yeah. And it was like, dang, like, and then like they had like 4 sticks, like a $2,000 pair or $1,500 pair of skates. Their whole bag was like super expensive. It was a massive like culture shock for sure. Okay. To like be in that environment. But I think it like definitely helped me like face adversity and learn to, I guess you could say like change my mindset on like money and possibilities and a lot of things like that.
When you said that was the only I guess rink in the area, is hockey like a big? Do a lot of high schools have hockey teams, or was Pennsauken one of the fewer ones?
So it depends on the district. Okay. Because hockey is very expensive. Gotcha. It's like I think our school was paying like $500 an hour for ice time or something like that. Wow. And that was back then in like the 2018 and 2022. Okay. Almost every private high school does have ice hockey. I wouldn't say a lot, a good amount of public schools in South Jersey have it. Okay. More public schools in North Jersey have it. But it requires a lot of funding. And Pennsauken actually only started it because of, I guess you could say, like my class and like the surrounding classes. So like the class above me, we all played for Snyder hockey. Okay. And the AD like obviously knew that we were in the middle school playing for Snyder. And
what's that name, Snyder?
Snyder is the foundation that we play for.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's named after the owner of the Flyers. He did pass, so may he rest in peace. But yeah, they found out that like 8 or 10 of us were playing for Snyder while going to fight for middle school. And they just decided to start the petition, I guess, and they got the funding. Nice. So we had like 4 people in the grade above me that played. There was me and 3 people in my grade, and then there was like 4 or 5 in the grade below us. But it was tough. It was tough. So they made the team for us. We had like 10 players total.
How many do you need to have a hockey team?
Like, I mean, there's 4 lines of 3, which is 12, and then there's 3 lines of 2 for defense, which is another 6, so 18, and then there's normally 2 to 3 goalies, which is 21. Okay. And that's like the very bare minimum if someone gets hurt, if someone's tired. Like some of these schools we were playing had benches of like 30 kids. Wow. And we were playing with 10.
No breaks.
or less, honestly, because some people would try it because it was free through the school, and then they'd be like, I suck, or I hate this, or like, I just don't think I'll ever be good at this, or I got hurt and I'm scared to play again. So we were just dropping like flies. Wow. Like I think like if a lot of our games weren't tracked on max preps, unfortunately, just because of some things, not gonna talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if our games were tracked on Max Preps, me and the other kid that was on our team, his name is RJ Rowan. He plays for the Philadelphia Hockey Club now.
Okay.
I think we would have been the number 1 and number 2 players in the country for ice time. We never got breaks, like ever. We would go by the bench. We would dump the puck to get it out the zone and go by the bench and get a squirt of water on the way to go forecheck and then just keep playing. Like I genuinely would get cramps every single game. It was pretty interesting, to be honest. Like hardest physical thing I've probably ever done.
Is that I know a lot of runners when they long distance they lose their toenails. So being on your feet, are your feet all good or?
My feet are all good.
Okay.
But it's because I think my mom, can't thank her enough. She made a significant investment that we really couldn't afford.
Okay.
And she got me custom skates. So they scanned my foot and then built the skates around my foot basically. So like I had a very wide toe box skate.
Okay.
Even though hockey skates are typically supposed to be like more narrow. So that helped me not like mess up my feet or anything like that. I did go through a lot of Achilles problems from playing so much. Still do today. And then I think the biggest thing was just hydration and like nutrition. Like obviously I was a teenager, so I didn't give a damn about it at all.
Yeah.
But I think like I was being required to play at the level of like a high performing athlete while feeding myself like someone that never left the couch. Like I would eat Twinkies and like all kinds of snacks all the time, drink soda, all of these things. And then I'd go into the game and I'd immediately start cramping after the first period or something like that because I'm just going 24/7. And I don't know how much you know about hockey, but like your shifts. So like even at the high school level, your shifts are like 30 to 45 seconds, maybe a minute max.
And when you say shift, that means coming off the ice and going.
Yeah, so swapping out with someone.
Gotcha.
And like that's like the max. Like the max you'll normally ever see is like a minute, even in high school hockey. And I was playing. We played 20-minute periods. I was playing for 60 minutes a game straight, with obviously the period breaks. But like like 15 and 20 minutes at a time, which is way the longest shift probably anyone's ever played. So it wasn't healthy at all. But I mean, we made it work.
Gotcha. You said you had a lot of concussions. I feel like that's a big topic in high schools and even as adults with CTE and everything. Did they take it serious in high school, that concussions, or it was like, hey, you got a concussion, you can't play for a certain amount of games?
No, I don't think it got taken serious enough, honestly.
Okay.
I think because like after my first rodeo, I was kind of like, all right, I know how this works.
Okay.
And I still wanted to play college at this time. So I was like, I don't want to sit out for any reason. So after my first concussion, I learned how the process worked. Like, yeah, you can't, no contact in practice, which we didn't do contact in practice for hockey very often anyway. But like no contact in practice. So I would be able to practice right away.
Gotcha.
No games for like, I think until you passed like the computerized like concussion test.
Okay.
But like, again, after my first time, I knew what all the questions were. It was just like common sense questions. And I knew how to get myself to, despite as messed up as I may have been, I knew how to get myself to focus to pass the test.
Okay.
And then from there, they would just have you do some light exercises before you went like full fledged. But like, I think like my turnaround time with every concussion that I had, I've had like 5 of them now.
Wow.
With every one of them, I was like back on the ice or back playing my sport within like 4 weeks.
Wow. And what's like is that the I guess the wait time period of?
Normally it's supposed to be longer depending on severity.
Okay.
So like after your first one is like typically your shortest recovery time because it's like your brain is still fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Your second through fourth one, second and third one, I'd say, because that's like typically people stop at like 3.
Okay. Playing hockey?
They just like stop trying to get, or
Okay.
they like avoid contact or something like
Gotcha.
that, or stop playing the contact sport after like 3 because anything more than 3 is like dangerous.
Wow.
But yeah, the second and third one, it got a little bit longer. But like again, I wanted to play, so I would just hide the symptoms. I'd be like, no, like I'm feeling fine, and then I would go pass the test and try to get rolling again. And then, my fourth and fifth one, the fifth one was the longest one. I was out for like 2 months. But I think it easily should have been out for the season because that's the one that I got like sent into the boards head first.
Okay.
And yeah, like I literally like I like blacked out. There's no way I should have been able to play for the rest of that season, and I was back within like I think that this was in the second game of the season. I was back within 6 weeks towards like the very last couple games of the season.
Wow.
Like it was insane. I was not taking the proper time off at all.
Well, I'm glad you're good as an adult today.
Yeah.
So, sports, gaming. Was there anything that you did for yourself in high school, or it was just sports and gaming?
No. No, I'm not that, like, now I think I see the importance of it as an adult. Like, I do have hobbies. Like, I like to draw, or I like to go fishing, or just kind of relax.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, the nature of business and everything like that.
Okay.
But in high school, I was like, even now, I'd say, like, I have to check myself. I'm just goal oriented, and I just want to move the mission forward. For example, it's kind of hypocritical that I'm saying I'm a lot better with it now, because last night I was up till 3 a.m.
Okay.
Just working on stuff for next gen, completing, some things that we've been wanting to implement over the past few weeks, and just grinding it out to move the mission forward. And then I woke up and went to church at 8:30 this morning.
Wow.
So, like, yeah, I'm more than down for the grind, and I've always been like that. And it's mainly because that's how my parents are. Honestly, my dad's very much like goal oriented. He'll just run until he can't anymore.
Okay. So transitioning to after high school, you said you got picked up by West Virginia to do I guess was it how do you
It's called esports.
Esports, but I guess is the proper term play or
Yeah.
Okay, so to play video games.
Yeah.
What was that process like being picked up by a college to play video games? Like, how did someone reach out to you by email or were you recruited?
Yeah, so I actually was recruited. I got reached out to through Twitter, honestly.
Oh wow.
Because I had like a social media following on there, like all my game clips and film, I guess you could call it.
Okay.
Was all over social media and YouTube and stuff. So they reached out to me on there, and then I just hopped on a call. I got all the scholarship details. My parents thought it was fake.
Okay.
For a very long period of time. Like, it was a couple months before my parents realized it was real.
Okay.
And I think the two things that made them realize it was real was, one, my official visit there.
Okay.
So we went out there. It was like during a blizzard, ironically.
Wow.
It was crazy. I don't even know how we got there. But they had like 6 or 7 inches of snow, or maybe even like 8. It was a lot.
Okay.
When we went down there.
And it's a lot of hills, because my little brother just graduated from there.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the hills are crazy. You can't just drive any car there. Like, it's crazy. But that was step one. And then I think the second thing was like the official offer letter.
Okay.
Like, it being notarized by the university, and my mom doing notary in the past. She was like,
Okay.
wait, like, this is like for real.
Wow.
And then once I signed my letter of intent, we did a signing day at the high school. It was pretty cool. They sent me a bunch of gear. And then, yeah, that was a beautiful moment for me to remember. And then I got like signed into my portal and stuff, and it was absolutely absurd to see my balance go from 40,000 to 0.
Okay.
I was just like, what is going on? And then my housing was taken care of, my food was taken care of, like pretty much the whole 9 yards. And then I got there and really got treated no different than like a football player. Like, obviously those guys get way more.
Yeah.
But like, I think by the end of my freshman year, I had like $1,000 worth of Nike, like West Virginia gear, sneakers, book bags, like duffel bags, pretty much everything, the whole 9 yards, winter hats, anything you could possibly name. And my freshman year, we won regional championships, which was like, I guess you could say like the Midwest regional. So very similar to like the Big 12. And then we went to nationals, and complete disappointment at nationals in Texas. Very interesting experience for me. Texas, that was my second time in Texas, and it was freezing. We lost, and I was infuriated, and I vividly remember like sitting outside, and like I think it was like 50 degrees outside.
Wow.
And really windy, and just sitting out there for like hours, like just so disappointed that we got knocked out in the first round.
Okay.
And then we had media days, and kind of the whole 9 yards. And then going into sophomore year, we got new players to come alongside me. We got more gear, nicer gear. Went back to regionals. We actually lost the first game, which put us in the lower bracket. And I remember this moment as well. This was like a crucial moment in like my faith, because I was starting to seek Jesus.
Okay.
But I remember just calling my dad, like crying, like, because we got knocked out. We were like the number 1 seed. Like, this is astronomical what like just transpired, and we got whooped too. Like, it was bad.
And then what game was this?
It's called Valorant.
Okay.
So it's very similar to like Overwatch and Call of Duty, like mixed in. But we got whooped, and I remember going outside this venue in Columbus, Ohio, and I just called my dad, and I was upset, and I was like, Dad, like, we just lost in the first round. Like, we're in the lower bracket. Like, I'm gonna need a miracle from God to win this tournament. Like, will you pray with me? And like, I got on my knees outside the venue, like, and just was like, I was just sitting there, like, I didn't know what else to do. Like, it was so disappointing. Like, we were supposed to steamroll this tournament. So I was super cocky about it too.
Okay.
Like, I was going into it like, all right, this is gonna be like a walk in the park, and it just completely hit me. And And we prayed about it. We went back in and we absolutely steamrolled the rest of the event. Like not even remotely close. We went through the lower bracket and won the whole thing. And it was crazy. Like I don't think anybody expected, one, for us to go to the lower bracket, but two, for us to wake up like that. Like it was night and day difference. Like the games are normally like anywhere from like 40 minutes to like an hour and 20 minutes long.
Okay.
And like we were winning in like 40 minutes. Like
wow.
How many games did you play? Possible.
I guess a day in the tournament.
So in that specific tournament for regionals, it was a total of, I think it was 4 teams at the regional, which isn't a lot because obviously the leagues are very restricted on funding for travel and things like that. But yeah, we so basically you beat the team, and then it was like lower bracket and upper bracket. So if you won, you only had to win twice. Okay. Or win 3 times to win it all. If you lost, then you had to win 3 times and play a total of 4 games. Okay. And play every team.
And this is in one day?
Yeah.
Okay, so you could be playing up to 4 hours in video. Yeah. Okay,
yeah, games. We were there for about I think 6 hours total. Wow. About like an hour warm up, 4 hours of games, and then another hour. But we won. It was insane. It was great. We had our director there. We had our coach there who lived in California. Okay. And then our whole team with like all our subs and everything like that. And we went to this really nice restaurant and just ran up the bill. It was pretty funny, actually. We got to pick, and I just picked the most expensive place I saw on the strip. Who's selling steaks? And then we went there, and it was crazy. I think it was like $50 a head, genuinely. Wow. So sorry, but yeah. Yeah, that was great. We got to go on like the tour of Columbus, saw the Columbus Blue Jackets Stadium, everything like that. And then we went to Nationals. And that year, Nationals was in Chicago. Okay. We flew out, super nice hotel, tour buses, like the whole 9 yards. It was pretty crazy. And we got steamrolled in the first round again. Wow. Super disappointing. And after that, like I said, I'm super competitive. So I did not expect for me being I was one of the only second years like to go to this Nationals. Like everybody from the year before didn't like make it, or there was very few of them that were there the year before. So I figured I had the upper hand with the experience and everything. And we just got mopped, and I just went outside, and I sat by the dumpster. I didn't want to celebrate with any other team. I didn't even want to watch the games. Like I was such a poor sport, and I didn't care. Wow. And I sat by the dumpster, and then my teammates were like, "You got to come in. Like you got to be a better sport than this, whatever." And I just wasn't trying to hear it, so I took an Uber to the fashion district in Chicago, and I went and bought like 4 pairs of sneakers or something like that while I was there, and I did some retail therapy, and then just went back to the hotel room and went to sleep. I didn't even know who won until like 9 p.m. like that night because I wasn't beat. Wow.
In terms of the gaming world, who I guess chooses the game to compete in?
So are you talking about like universities or?
Yeah, like when you said you played Valorant, who picks that game to compete in, or is there multiple games that you guys are competing in?
So there's multiple games. Okay. So West Virginia, it's basically based on like ROI and the popularity of the game. Okay. So like West Virginia has Valorant, they have Call of Duty, they have Rocket League, they have Madden, and then they have a female Rocket League team. Okay. And I don't know if they have anything else at this point. But like all of those teams are on scholarship, and those are all the biggest games. So like, even though we were traveling to regionals and nationals, like the Rocket League team won national, they're national champs. They're regional champs. Like they won way more than us. And they were super great. They also had a 4.0 team GPA, which is insane. Okay. Super smart kids.
That's going to be my next question. How'd you balance classes with the gaming? Because I'm sure you got to practice more than just the traditional practice.
I mean, I'm not a part of the university anymore, so I feel like I could say this now. Yeah. I didn't. Okay. It was a really interesting period of my life where I would just wake up and there's like this thing called Duo where you like had to check in a class. Okay. But it was based on a parameter. So you didn't actually have to be in the class. So I would just go for a walk and go like check into all my classes and then just like hang out and chill. Wow. And do my work, obviously, because I just needed C's. Yeah. I was just getting by. And then we would practice for 5 hours a day in the nighttime. Wow. Or like late afternoon at nighttime. And then after that, I would do one of two things. I would either go out with my friends or hang at the house with my friends, or I would stream and just play more. And I'd say like my freshman year, I was very much more on the streaming part of things. But by like sophomore year, I was pretty checked out. I did not want to stream. I really was like phasing out of playing, mainly because they introduced sports betting to esports, specifically college esports. So there was guys like betting on our games and like losing money. And then like you would get a star 6-7 call, like telling you to like do things to yourself. Or like you would get a text message saying like, you know, you're the worst person to like ever cross the face of the earth.
Wow.
It was absurd because these are like grown men. I'm like, bro, you just took your paycheck and put it on a video game. What are you doing? But that was like my like final straw. Like I remember like we lost really badly to qualify for this tournament that I wanted to go to so badly. And I played like crap. And then I just get a star 6-7 call as I'm walking out of the facility to go home. And it was this grown man telling me about how he lost money on the game, which I didn't give a damn about. Like I was like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
He said some things that I was just like, yeah, that's it for me. I'm gonna take my trophies and what I've done and just walk away and go back home and just do what I want to do. And that was it. I benched myself after that. Mental health took a toll. Didn't really want to play. Didn't want to talk. Nothing. I told my coach, like, listen, you got to take away my scholarship. You got to take away my scholarship. That's fine. I just don't want to play. Like, I'm tired of getting calls from these guys. This is not fun anymore. Like, I'm forcing myself to be a leader on this team, and I don't want to hurt the team any more than I already am. Massive low point for me, for sure. But that's where I, like, kind of got back into my faith. And then, yeah, we just kind of went from there.
Okay. So, I guess how was that process from, like, this? Would you say you dropped out of school or so you dropped out of school and came back to Jersey? What was that process like? Or I guess what did you feel emotionally? Because you said mental health took a toll.
It was conflicting for sure. I used to smoke weed and do a bunch of things while I was at college.
Okay.
And I went cold turkey quit. Right after I like stepped down from the team, that's something I wanted to focus on. Cold turkey quit that. And then I started getting deeper into my faith. And I did have plenty of other scholarships to go elsewhere. Like I had like maybe like 7 teams that wanted me to go play for them and things like that. So it was very conflicting of like, what do I do? Because like I guess going to play somewhere else would be like a fresh start. But yeah, I didn't want to play anymore, so I unenrolled from all my classes. I dropped out. I moved all my things out. I came back home and I started going to church again, and just trying to get my life together. And then I stopped drinking a lot. Like I stopped going out, stopped drinking a lot. Like I was really getting myself together, honestly. And then yeah, I just decided to like start working and figuring out, kind of what I wanted to do with entrepreneurship and what skills and talents and gifts I had and things like that. And then last summer I quit drinking completely. It's low-key a great feeling. Most people like have nothing against it, but I think for me it's really refreshing to not have to say no to go out because nobody invites me anyway because I don't drink, right? Like and I just get to focus so much more ultimately. Like I'm just really able to focus and I don't have many distractions because of my sobriety in different ways. And then I decided to start Next Gen last August. And it's been a huge blessing for me. Honestly, it's been a complete change. Like you would think that most people would think like either you started where you are or like it took you so long. But like even in just like July will be 11 months. We've changed so much. Like we didn't used to have a logo. Like this wasn't like what it was at all. It was literally just plain letters, black and white. A lot of our systems and processes just were non-existent. Our website and things like that were much different. There weren't nearly as many avenues and things like that. But over the past year, we've just received a lot of feedback. We've learned a lot. And I've sought like crazy amounts of mentorship. Like I have mentors that are worth more than they would like me to say.
Yeah.
And I get to the privilege of talking with those guys, talking through my issues, my problems, my ideas, getting wisdom from them, getting to meet them in person, them sending me clients, which is just like, I think that's like one of the biggest compliments that you could possibly have at like when someone believes in you enough to put their name behind you. It's like, wow. Like that's like deep. Like I appreciate that a lot, especially these guys that don't owe me anything. They could literally probably buy my childhood home times 50. And they're just humble guys. They just want to see the younger generation win. They're old enough to be my dad, but like treat me like a son, like genuinely. And it's just great overall.
Cool. So coming back from West Virginia to New Jersey, most people go through like I guess a try phase. Was Next Gen Media the first thing you tried and it fell through? It fell into play, or did you try other things?
No, so my dad and my grandma were entrepreneurs. So like I always grew up with them. Like I started counting money at, honestly, is the moment I could do addition and multiplication, like they would start slowly but surely like hand me cash to count and things like that.
Okay.
And I learned how to do bookkeeping and the whole 9 yards, like throughout middle school and high school. So I knew that's what I wanted to do for sure. So throughout middle school and high school, I was trying. Like, I didn't want to just wait to take over their business because like I didn't think the day would ever come.
Yeah.
So like I tried landscaping, I tried drop shipping, I tried day trading, e-commerce, like a whole bunch of different things before. I've probably failed and tried like 6 or 7 different things before next gen. And this is just the first thing that I felt like all of my gifts and talents were being utilized. And the ones that I didn't have, I have been given open doors to learn from other people or hire people or whatever the case is, or work with people that can do what I can't do. And it's just something I love to do every day. Like with everything else, I felt like my motivation was wrong. And it's very common for a lot of young men or young adults in general to just chase money. But literally, this is the first idea where I did not care about the money at all, and it was solely purpose driven.
Okay.
And like the fruit from it, like shows obviously.
Yeah. So I guess getting into next gen, what was the first step in creating a company name?
Yeah. So we didn't necessarily have it all figured out. Gio can testify to this actually.
Okay.
I just randomly
Gio's behind the camera. Everybody, say what's up to Gio.
I randomly called him one day. We grew up together. We went to middle and high school together.
Okay. Did you play? Were you on the hockey team?
No.
Okay.
And I just randomly called him one day, and I was like, "Hey, I have this idea. I already have the name. I have this. I have that. I've like already mapped this out. I just need a creative that can come alongside me and do this with me. And I promise, like, this will be like an 8-figure company at minimum." And he was like, "Okay."
That's like, a good friend to have.
He was just like, "All right, I'm down. Like, what do we got to do?"
Okay.
So like next gen, the heart behind next gen, and the name is we're the next generation. Like as of right now, at least, we are the next generation. And many business owners are either a decade or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 even years older than me. So like this era of social media and all of the services and things that we offer to businesses is like foreign to many people still in the business world. So that's kind of where the name came from. And then media, I didn't like next gen marketing.
Okay.
So I picked media because I felt like it was more on the creative aspect of things. And then our tagline shaped the future, which is on my chest. Just came from shaping the future of businesses. Like quite literally, a really good ad campaign can take a company from about to be bankrupt to overflowing with work. Or like good organic content can take a company from paying a ton for marketing with Google and PPC or LSA, which is only for home service contractors and things like that, to not paying for marketing as much because their brand is so like astronomical, right? And then we just kind of kept moving from there. Like the goal has always been to help entrepreneurs do their marketing and adjust to this new time period. And honestly, I didn't expect it, but we've had to adjust a lot too, with AI and all of the things changing in the marketing world, and with the algorithms and Meta changing their stuff with Andromeda on the ad campaign side, Google changing their stuff from SEO to geo with like the AI, like automated search results and everything like that. It's absurd how much learning we've also had to do in comparison to 10, 11 months ago. But I'm more than willing to continue to learn and adapt to be able to help business owners. Because like I said, it's literally the difference between not being able to keep the lights on and being able to go on vacation with your family. Like that's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's a phenomenal feeling when things work out and a business owner can be happy about it and get their time back for their family or whatever the case is.
Nice. Not to put you on the spot, but you said you went to college for gaming. When you present, I guess, your services to someone and they ask, well, why should I hire you? Where'd your, I guess, background and the information come from? Is it like your dad and grandma's business or?
Gaming.
Okay, gaming?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, as we are right now, I was always in front of the camera. But like I knew that gaming was just a means to an end to go to college, which I didn't really even want to do in the first place. My parents knew that. I did it for them, honestly.
Okay.
But I knew it could get me to college or make me enough money to not have to go to college. So was like the means to the end, but like I was studying like the entire time. I've gotten to work with like 20-person marketing teams. I've gotten to work with the university's marketing team, which, as you know, is probably gigantic.
Yeah.
And different creatives that had, 20, 30 years under their experience, under their belt. Marketers that had, more experience than I've been alive, et cetera. And I was just learning and soaking it all up like at the same time. And not really doing as much creative stuff as I should have been.
Yeah.
Like when I got on camera, I was just kind of like, all right, how do I get off of this? So I can like go back to like watching or helping set up or do something.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I explain it to them. Like I think I started gaming and like working with like teams and marketing and all these things and social media at like 12. I'm 22. So that's like 10 years of just like absorbing things from these teams and stuff.
Yeah.
And then also I've posted like 12,000 videos myself.
Wow.
I posted 4,500 or 5,000 last year alone.
Okay.
So I've done a lot in front of the camera as well.
Yeah.
We actually have a whole training course for our clients. It's a free bonus that we just include with every new client, where it's a 30-minute training course for you and your staff on how to be in front of a camera. So I talk about tonality and how the camera steals your energy. I talk about where to look at the lens, where to keep your hands like within your shoulders and your posture and things like that, and how to like engage an audience. We talk about pace of speaking, like everything. And I just break down my like 12,000 videos into 30 minutes. So that way these guys that are doing these videos for their companies don't feel like they're like, robotic.
Gotcha. Where were these videos being posted? It was like all social media platforms or?
Yeah, so most of our clients do use social media, obviously. So we do a lot of organic content. We do ad campaigns. So like some things will be recorded for the sole purpose of being ran as an ad. Which you don't normally see unless you're on like Meta or something like that. Some of the media we film is for websites, so it'll be like in landscape or something like that, for their websites, or something called a VSL landing page. It's a video sales letter. So we'll record stuff that goes on there as well. The photos could be used for their portfolio, or we just had a client that got brochures.
Okay.
So all of our photos were on his brochure, which was pretty cool. It was like a tangible thing I could touch and be like, whoa, like we did all this.
You could say it's old school.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think there's like one more thing I'm missing, but I can't.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. I guess the next thing would be getting your first client. You have all this information, you have the business. What was that process of reaching out to that first client, or was it a referral and it just landed in your lap?
It just God just opened the door. Honestly, we landed 3 clients in a month.
Okay, nice.
Which was like insane.
Clap it up, everybody.
It was one after another. They were all Christians. It was the most absurd, like supernatural thing I've ever seen in my life. And even to this day, 90% of our clients are Christians.
Nice.
Which is like the coolest thing ever, because I get to like, they know I don't work on Sunday.
Okay.
And they don't work on Sunday. And then vice versa. And like sometimes, I'll call them just to check up on them, and they're having a terrible day, and I get to point them back to scripture. And it's a really cool dynamic that we have going. I don't know how long I'll be able to enjoy the 90% Christian clients. But either way, like the goal is still going to be the same. Even if you're not a Christian, like, and you're my client, if I know you're having a terrible day, I'm going to try my best to talk with you through it, because most entrepreneurs just work more, and that doesn't necessarily eliminate the feelings at all.
Yeah. It'd be a good transition, I guess, going back into your faith in Christianity. Were you that one story where you said you called your dad, you prayed with him? Guess coming back to New Jersey, what was the process in finding your church home or a place to practice your faith?
Yeah, it was so supernatural again. Like, I think like God is like the ultimate chess player, and it's surreal because I like to play chess on my free time now.
Okay, you like to connect with my dad. He's always looking for people to play chess. I just
suck. Like, I'm like, wait, how did he just do that? Like, he moved this and then this and then this, and now I got like 4 things left, and I don't even know what's going on. But that's how I feel with God.
Like to play something you're not good at?
Yeah, it challenges me like astronomically. But yeah, I used to work when I was in high school, and I was trying to start my own landscaping company. I tried to start it because I worked for a landscaper.
Okay. And
we would always drive on Aura Road in Mullica Hill to go to this massive property that I hated. Dude. Yeah. It literally would take us like an hour. Like, and I was weed whacking too.
Okay.
So it would take so long. It was like 2 acres.
Wow.
And we would always drive past True North Church.
Okay.
And I just remember it being like this big white building on.
Where's True North Church at?
It's in Mullica Hill.
Okay.
On Ora Road.
Gotcha.
So on our way back from this property.
Is that the church you can see from 55?
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I would drive past and I would just be like, what is this big white thing? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And obviously I had no interest in it at the time. But then once I got back home, I was like, what is that big white thing? And I Googled it and I found out it was a church and I was like, all right, I'm going to go there. And I went there. I got home May 9th. I went there on May 12th.
Wow.
I got saved, I guess you could say like officially saved and like dedicated my life to Jesus. And then I got baptized 2 months later. And then I started serving like in the youth ministry. And like I've never gone back. Like I've never like strayed away again. Like
wow.
I'm head on. Like I'll do anything to keep like the peace and the joy that comes from it.
Gotcha. Well, I guess you could say, what makes you keep going back to this church?
I'd say the community is great. I have a lot of mentors in the church that are great. The way they run things, like me being a business owner, I'm obviously systems minded. So I like the way the church flows. Like it's organized and structured, but still loose enough to where God can just move in whatever way he wants. Like it's gotten obviously a lot larger now. It takes a lot of people on a Sunday. To make church happen. And the different teams, like the Doors teams, the First Time in Church teams, you know, the Salvation teams where they pray for you and they give you a Bible or whatever the case is. And then there's something called crews, which is like small groups. And I actually lead a crew for young men, 18 to 29 myself. And that's been the biggest blessing to me. Like I have guys that are in law enforcement. I have guys that are EMTs. I have guys that are really high up at Chick-fil-A. Like it just kind of ranges, man. And we all have a lot of things in common. And our last crew, like literally 2 weeks ago, we just had a barbecue.
Nice.
Lots of chicken, lots of food, hot dogs, burgers. We played spike ball, cornhole, and just chatted it up. Like no drinking, no smoking, no nothing. We didn't need to do anything to just spend time together and have a good time. But yeah, it takes a lot of people on a Sunday to like make anything happen. And it's just so like organized. There's opportunities for everybody, despite your gifting and things like that, to serve and also be, you know, poured into, whether, you know, you're uncomfortable in the big environment or whatever the case is. Like there's areas. And then I think like the number one deciding factor as to why I don't think I'll leave is the kids ministry. There is a nursing mom's room. So when me and Lainey do end up having a kid down the line, if she needs to breastfeed, there's a room for that.
Gotcha.
It's private.
Who's Lainey?
That's my fiance.
Nice. Congratulations. So you recently proposed?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
3 weeks ago now, I think.
Cool.
Insane, to be honest. God is good.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. Like I said, I'm just really focused.
Yeah.
Like it's absurd. Like most people, my dad and my grandma and my mom get on me all the time, and they're just like, dude, do you do like anything else besides what you do?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, why would I do that? Like I literally spend time with my fiance. I go to the gym, I work, and try to grow the company, and I learn, and I have healthy hobbies. Like I don't need to go to the bar on a Friday night to have a fun time. Most of the times they call me and I'm doing something random. Like my dad will call me at like 4 p.m. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm fishing right now. What's up? Like, what do you need?
Yeah.
But it's great, man. Like I really do just get to focus. But yeah, the kids ministry is great. Nursing mom's room, she can go in there. There's also Compass Kids. It's from 8 months all the way to 6th grade, where I've taught like one of the classes before when I was serving in that ministry, and like the kids, like they make their friends there. They get to learn about Jesus and life and things like that. And it's great. And then they also have the youth ministry, which is 7th through 12th grade, which I'm also a part of, like I said. Just seeing those kids grow up, really, like I've had a student, when I met him, he was in 5th grade, and now he's in 7th grade. So he went from being in the Compass Kids for 2 years and seeing him like at that like season of life in middle school when he was still goofy to like in 7th grade growing a little bit more. Yeah. But now he's going into 8th, and it's like this, like I'm watching him change and like form into like a young man. It's insane. And then obviously the 18 to 29, like once our kids do become adults, like they have 18 to 29 groups and things like that. And it's just like a generational church. And that's what I love most about it. Ultimately.
Nice. That sounds awesome. What's the future hold for Angel Garcia and I guess balancing your life?
Man, I don't know.
Angel.
There's this clip from Elmo that I saw the other day. It's really funny.
Like the Sesame Street Elmo?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, the lady was like, so what's your 5-year plan? And he was like, 5-year plan? What do you mean? And she was like, what's your 5-year plan? And he was like, Someone doesn't even know what he's doing 5 hours from now. I think that's super funny. But in all seriousness, I think obviously me and Lainey are gonna get married. It's gonna be great. We're still undecided on whether we want to buy an investment property and live in that for the first year and then go buy a house, or just buy the house and then buy the investment property a year later. I don't really know. It just kind of depends. I do have my eyes on something right now, and if I can get it for the price that I want, it's got 4 units, which would be sick.
Yeah.
To live in one and rent out 3. And then scaling next gen to the moon. Some of my mentors, they're in our industry.
Okay.
The one does $1.3 million a month. The other one does close to $5 million a month. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And just learning a lot from them, helping as many business owners as we possibly can. Like I said, it's not really even about the money. Because the guy that does $1.3 million has really cheap prices for what he produces for his clients, and he's still making a ton of money because he just wants to serve business owners. Like, it's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say like,
what's that quote? If you build it, they will come.
Yeah. But yeah, just trying to grow next gen and help as many business owners as possible. I'd like to get us in over like the next 5 years. Obviously, like I said, married, house, investment property of some sort, scaling next gen. I don't really have a revenue goal, just a value goal. Like, I just want to provide as much value to as many business owners as possible. Expanding the team. Right now we do organic social media content, meta ads, websites, CMO hours, and what's the other thing? Lead tracking and funnel creation.
Okay.
So like basically a lot of businesses, when a lead comes in, it's all messed up. Like, we could run the greatest ad in the world, but if your funnel isn't fixed, then you're not going to be able to convert them. So now we're like helping business owners make their funnel start to finish.
Okay.
So like, yes, we can run the advertisement. What happens after the ad? Where do they go? What kind of evidence do they see when they get there that makes them want to move to the next step, and so on and so forth. But I would love to add SEO. I would love to add Google Geo. I would love to add LSA and PPC ads, which are just Google ads, to the mix, and hire people for that. And then we also have a partnership with a wrap and apparel company that we just send our clients to get all their stuff. I do the middle manning to take the load off the business owner.
Okay.
But just expanding that in that aspect, and then getting our own office. I think in-person culture is so important. I really don't believe in work from home.
Yeah.
I think like down the line we'll have Fridays off. Like, I've always loved the businesses that are like, you got Fridays off, but 4 days a week you're in the office.
Yeah.
Because I think culture is so important. Don't know what it's gonna cost. Don't know how big it's gonna be. And I don't really care, to be honest. I've seen guys like literally, the one guy spent 2.5 million on his office in Fort Lauderdale, and it's insanely nice. And he hosts in-person events for his clients, for them to network and talk and just make friends and things like that. And I think that could be great. And then traveling, really just traveling, growing in my walk with God, going to see the world with Lainey, and just waiting on kids, to be honest. Like, we're not in really any rush. We only really want like 2 or 3 max. Excuse me. So I think we could wait. Like, I'm 22, she's 21. We could easily wait like 3, 4, 5 years and still have the amount we want and still be pretty young to spend a lot of time with them when we do get older. So that's really it. I mean, like, I'm just super focused on the mission, and the mission right now is just to help as many business owners as possible. And then whatever stems from that in my personal life is what stems from it. Whether that's, retire my parents, or me and Lainey, building our life and wealth in different ways and things like that.
Cool. So as we wrap up this show, what's I guess a last message you would want to give to the people listening or watching the show?
Can you give me a group of people?
What do you mean?
Can you give me a group of people rather than everyone?
Let's say 18 to 29-year-old trying to figure out what's next in life.
Okay. I think I could do that.
Okay.
I don't think you guys will figure it out. That's like the thing. I just made a video about this yesterday. We live in a society where everyone is obsessed with tomorrow, and nobody recognizes that today is necessary. Like, I think if I was, I am in the 18 to 29 bracket, but like if I was 18 again, if I could change one thing, I would not focus on becoming 22-year-old Angel. I would focus on 18-year-old Angel and just going through that process. Because like, you literally can't be who you need to be tomorrow without going through today. And you couldn't be who you are today without going through yesterday. So I think like social media and society pushes people to like the next thing, when in reality, like so many people just need to pause. Like just pause, like be grateful for where you're at, be grateful for the process, understand that like this is required. Like I always think about like Jesus's ministry. Like he literally didn't start his ministry till he was 30 years old. And it's like most of these kids want to be millionaires at 18 and drive an SVJ at 20. It's like, what are we talking about? Like this is so crazy. Like he took 30 years to prepare for the greatest act of mankind in human history. And you think that you can do it in 2? Like it's just not feasible. So I think that, and then ties right into that. I would tell every 18 to 29-year-old to get extremely comfortable with delayed gratification. I think delayed gratification is one of the most powerful skills you can possibly have. And just knowing that you can do what you need to do today without getting a reward for it. Like I went to the gym today and it's like, I'm not seeing really any changes today. Like I didn't feel jacked today. I didn't look jacked. I didn't add any muscle today, but I went, right? And like I have seen changes. I used to be 120 pounds in high school and I'm 150 right now.
Wow.
And I would like to get up, more. But like you need to be okay with doing work today that doesn't produce a result right away. And I think social media, ironically, even though that's what we do for a living, I think it's ruined it for a lot of young kids. Like they feel like they need to have it figured out or they need to be somebody now. And it's like, you don't. Like you have your entire life to become somebody. Like I know people that are in their 30s and 40s reinventing their life completely to figure out what they want to do. And it's like, why do you think that at 18 years old you're going to figure it out? Like it's not even remotely realistic. And you would likely get so much closer. This is the funny thing about it. They would be so much closer if they didn't have that mindset of now. Like if you put in 5 years of work of thinking that if this doesn't happen tomorrow, I'm moving to the next thing, you would be in the same position in 5 years. Whereas if you took those 5 years and said, regardless of how long this takes, I'm going to do this one thing every day for the next 5 years, you would accomplish all of your goals. Like it's insane.
Well, I love that answer. To wrap up the shows, for someone that wants to reach out to you and get connected with your business or you yourself, how would they do that?
Yeah, so you guys can get in contact with me either on our social medias, ngmedia.company. My personal social media is Angel5Garcia, or through email, angel@next-gen.media, or my phone number if you have somebody that can give it to you, or message the account and I will give it to you myself. And the business page is obviously a lot of professional work, but my personal page is more focused towards self-improvement, personal development, helping business owners that maybe can't afford to outsource marketing services understand the foundations of what they can do on their own and things like that.
Cool. Well, I thank you guys for tuning in, however you're tuning in. We'll see you on the next one.